creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. DeAgostini Collectibles Build the Moomin House, Box 21, Part 5. In this video, we're going to complete stage 89 of the build. Let's go.
Oh my god.
As always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. With every stage of the build comes component parts and a magazine. These are the component parts. 89. Let's have a look inside what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing some more blue cladding on the outside of the exterior wall, and we're going to be putting some wallpaper in. Probably not this one, but the other one that we've done in the previous video. The poet Jason who stows away on the Moomin's boat. So this is a list of all the components and the step-by-step instructions. So yeah, it's quite a jigsaw. Just showing you where all the pieces go, and then it shows you how to assemble them. And then we'll probably be splitting this into 2 videos, and then we will be, looks like we're going to be painting the sides as well. And then putting the wallpaper inside. Yeah, so it could be 1, maybe 2 videos, I'm not sure at the moment. Okay. So as always, before we start any build, I just like to make sure what it says we're supposed to have here, that we have in the blister. So we've got some wallpaper in here, which is here, and then we've got a fixing plate, which is fixing plates that go inside like that. They go in there before we put the wallpaper on, and then we've got some second level wall panels. Got quite a few. We should have 3, and we do have 3. Okay. So we've got everything that we're supposed to have at this stage of the build. We have our components, we've got our magazine. Let's begin. So I've located the wall that we need to be working on, but it's not finished, because if you remember when I was building it, the second part of the wall, I did have components that were wrong. So we're going to swing back to issue 80 because we're going to build this bottom part here. So just need to build it up. Got to make sure that we've got the right pieces, because remember I had 3 FP7s. I think it was FP7s. I can't remember what it was, but we were supposed to. I think I had 3 FP9s and I didn't get an FP7. So I need to check inside here. This is the replacement that DeAgostini sent me. I'm hoping that it's got all the right components in it. Let's see if I can see an FP7. So it's okay. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 9. That's a 9. And there should be a 7. There we go, there's the 7 that was missing. So what I have to do is I have to finish off constructing this before we work on the next section of cladding. So we can't clad it until the wall's been put up. So we're going to be doing that as well as this. So I'm just going to get all these out. Well, actually I could leave them in there and just get them out as we need them. So it's a big one. This is a really big one. So I'm going to put that to the side. Put this to the side because we're not going to be doing that yet. And then, so we're going to start with the FB7 that we didn't have before. So this is an FB7. And its orientation is right. First thing we've got to do is we've got to cut these out. These are one FB3, one FB3 and one FB4. So we need to cut those out first with our craft knife. Yeah, my blade's come loose. So we just need to prise these out of the housings. We need to turn them over. Just make sure we loosen them like that. And that's the first thing we've got to do, is get these out. And then we start with this one. Let's check in. Okay. Just need to check. Yeah, so that's its orientation there. So it's got the code on the side, and it sits like that there. One FB3, which is this. And that's going to sit in there like that. So we need to put some glue in there. So we need cocktail sticks and glue. Remember, those codes point upwards. This is the top and this is the bottom. So that sits in there like that. And then we get an FB8, which is this one. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see it all. This one, which is an FB8. And we put some glue on the stick like that. Okay, let's put some glue in there, in that little cut out area, and then sit them together like that. There we go. And then we get another FB3, which is here. And this goes at the top. So again, we need to put some glue in both channels. Like that, one in there, one in there. And remember that the code points up. That's a bit weird, it's not straight. Let's see. Seems to be. Oh, do you know why? Do you know why? Because it's supposed to be this one that goes in there, not. Yeah, it looked like a letter A rather than a H type letter. I do get distracted sometimes, and that's what happens. Right, let's do that. Let's do that one again. So the second FB3 goes in there and in there, like that. There we go. So we've got this basic shape. We've got to let this dry before we do anything else with it, which shouldn't take too long to dry. While it's drying, this here, I've got this one FB1 and I've got this one FB9, and its orientation is like this. You see the code on the side points that way, left. So we've got to, it's got to glue in there. That. So I need some more glue. Like that. This. So remember that code points up. And this goes that way around. There. And then we put another FB one beside it in here. Same orientation. So we just need to put some glue in this. Like that. It goes in there like that. Just allow that to dry a little bit, because this here is going to go in there once these two are dry. So I've allowed this to dry a little bit, so we need to put this in place. And remember the orientation, the codes always point up. So we just need to put glue on there and there. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. I'm going to put like a blob of glue there. And then I'm going to spread it onto the other side. And then add it to this frame. Like that. And now we can put this FB4 across here. Remember, the codes always point up. That just solidifies it. So we can leave them to dry, because we're going to be putting a 1FB 1N, which is this one. We're going to be putting this on top of there when this is dry. Right, we're ready to add this 1FB 1N up here. So we just need to put glue on those tabs. Put this in place. Remember, the code faces up. Squeeze it a little bit so it fits in place. Remove that excess glue. Like that. While we leave that to dry, we need to put the magnets in these. Just need to redefine that hole there, right. We've got 6 magnets here. That need to be separated. Separate them into 3s and then separate them into singles. It isn't easy because they do like to stick to each other. Going to separate them and disperse them around my desk so that they don't stick to each other. Okay, I'm going to use this again. I've got my glue, or my cement, so we just start off with like that, stick it on. It magnetizes to the tweezers, blob of glue, and then make sure we line it up with the hole. Just push it in all the way like that, slide, there you go, that's it, that's in. Next one. Push it in, slide the magnet out of the way, make sure it's pushed in. Next magnet. You'll find doing it this way easier than once you've glued it into the frame and then try and put the magnets on. It's a little trickier. Here we go. Blob of cement, and then just sit it over the hole. There we go, push it in. Next magnet, there. Last magnet there. go. That's all 6 magnets in. Now we need to add these 2 sides on. So we just turn it like that. Some cocktail sticks. So we need to glue in this bottom one here. And then part of this needs glue in. But not all of it. And we stand it up and slot it into place. Like that. And then we need to do the same on the other side. Glue in there. And then glue in there. A little bit too much there. And then the same again on this one. And that is complete. And that's the missing element from stage 80. I'm going to have to dig out 81 because we've got to see how these two go together. If I put that over there, dig out 81 and see how these two glue together. So before we continue with this, we just need to glue these 2 pieces together. So it's pretty straightforward where you need to put the glue. So put glue on that tab and on that tab. And then I'm going to use a cocktail stick, and we can get some, oops, it's a bit too much on there, it's rolling about, so we need to get some in there, like that. It's quite tight, quite messy, but let's get it in there, like that. And then same on the other side there, that little slot there, and then we just glue them both together because there's hooks on here and on here, and we just kind of hook them in place. Just before I do that, let me just, nearly forgot, let's take some of the glue off there, put it in there. That's why I put like a bigger blob in there, and then take some off there, put it in here like that, Yeah, I think we have enough in there now. Let me just, there we go. Enough in there now. We can put these two together and they become one. It's just a case of lining them all up. Yeah, that's together, and we turn it around and we line all these up. I could probably use some clips if I knew where they were. Okay, so there it is, that's that whole section put together. Probably don't need clips, you know. I think it's going to hold in place because this is one we need to work on, as I was saying, and we didn't have this bit built, let alone was it connected. So it's all built and connected now, so we're gonna let that dry and then we can continue putting all the panels and things on for issue 89. While I'm waiting for the frame to dry, what I can do is I can bend these. I'm going to use a ruler again, so we're just going to, it's best to use a ruler so they don't break. Like that, so we bend that. And just keep sliding the ruler down. Make sure it's lined up. Gets a little bit tricky, but as you can see, there's a door opening there, or an opening for a door. And then that's an opening for a window. This is why a ruler is better, because it stops you from over bending it so that it might break. Kind of keeps you right. And then before you know it, you've got that curve shape there. So let's get the other ones done now. The ruler will keep you right if you're using a ruler. quite good AMSR or whatever it's called. And then the last one, we get 3 in this stage, 3 panels. We're very careful here, very careful. It wants to split where I don't want it to split. Very, very careful. There, that's the whole curve happening. Of the 3 panels. Gears, don't over bend them because I think they will split and break. But you get a feel in your hands how much you can do it. Like that. So I brought the frame back and the first section goes here, like that, sits there. So we need to glue kind of most of this that we can. So I'll see where I need to start gluing from. About here. Part of that window. Make sure we've got all the areas glued. A bit of cocktail stick magic. Like that. Got to move quite quickly because it's quite warm and the glue's going to dry quicker. I did locate my clips, they weren't where I left them. So yeah, I've got them now, so let's just move quite quickly before the glue starts to do things I don't want it to do. Okay, right, so this is going to be tricky, as it always is. So I'm going to sit it on like that, and then I'm going to position it, and then I'm going to start clipping it right where it needs to go. Needs to slide that way. Just need to make sure it's on properly everywhere. That doesn't look like it's right. Hang on. Let's just position it. That's where it should be there. Just checking how they've got it. Align with the edge. Okay. I can't really align with the edge. Really got to align with like door. The door framage. Okay. Looking quite good though. I haven't got tons of clips, so I'll have to use them pretty much strategically where I think they're going to be needed, like here. Just making sure it is clipping down where I need it to, like there. That wasn't being clipped down. And then one here. Like that. Oops. That's gone wrong. Let's just straighten that one out. Oh, I've pulled one of the magnets out. Can't believe it did that. Right. No, I don't know if I can get... No, I can't get in there, so I'll get in there. Oh. Okay. Maybe I can get in there. No, can't get in there. So I'm just going to put one here, like that. Yeah, the tweezers pulled one of the magnets out. Wow, how did that happen? So let me spin it around so you can see there. See the door opening there, so it's where it's supposed to be. So yeah, we'll leave that for a good while to dry. This first section is dry now, so I've taken the pegs off and this piece sits in there. I'm just seeing where I need to apply the glue. As you can see where I'm applying glue. Yeah, I think that's it. Orientation is there's a thinner one there. That's at the top. So we just need to lay these plates in place with minimal gappage. I've just got glue on there. Right, and start clipping it into place. Not sure if it can slide down a bit more. Okay, that's as far as it goes. So we'll just start clipping it. Whoa! Wow, that was quite explosive. Let me get this clip in here. That's quite difficult. Let's try and get it in here. Yeah, it won't go in there because it's check. Just checking that that's not overlapping. It's not. Oh yeah, that works better. And what I need to do is I need to put a weight on here somehow to kind of hold that down, but not something that's too heavy. Maybe something like that will hold in place. Maybe like that, just to hold it in place. But yeah, as you can see, I think I need to glue here and here as well. So I'm just going to put some glue under like that and get a clip there. got a bit more glue. Put it under here. And get another clip in there just to hold it in place. That's looking good. So the final piece is this, and this sits there like that, slots right into place there. So we just need to glue from here. So I'll get my glue out and ready. So it goes from about here, there, and just kind of follow that. Yeah. So just go from about here, just go all the way around like that. My nozzle's a bit clogged. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you get the first piece in properly, the rest of them just fit in perfectly. Fingers are covered in glue. It's okay, I can wipe that off later once it's dried in. Yeah, there we go. So we get this next piece in place. I've got loads of glue on my fingers then. Right, let's just slide it into place. There, like that. That's it. Making sure it fits in the right place. Once you get it there, just start clipping it. Like that. Yeah, we're going to need a few weights. I'll wait on that. Well, I think for the most part it's actually in place. Yeah, that's it. Let's leave that to dry. That's the final piece. This one's not sticking. It's sticking up a little bit. I might be able to push it down later, but there we go. Leave that to dry for a while. It's all done now, as you can see. All the cladding's on the outside. What I'm going to do is on the inside here, I've got these templates which I'm going to put in the various places where they're supposed to go. So I'm going to do that off camera and then come back, and these plates will go inside. So here's an example of what that looks like that I did with this one. So it says you've got to put one here and here, so I did. This one is completed, as you can see. That needs pushing down. I don't think there's anything. Yeah. Not sure if it will go down, but yeah. So that's what a completed exterior wall looks like, and we've half completed this one. So I'm going to cut all these out, put them all in place, and then I'll come back. So I've cut them out now. So I've separated them. So we've got 2 B3s and 2 B5s. So what I've been doing with them, I've been curving them on my glue bottle like that to give them that curved shape. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back here. And get a trusty. That might not be enough glue actually, we'll see. Get my trusty cocktail stick and spread it all around like that. And then we get this B3, we slot it in there like that. I think it's a bit of reinforcement. Like that. And then we get a B5, which is here, and it goes in there, but it doesn't cover it. No, it goes in there, sorry, it goes in there, yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to curve it around my glue bottle. Initial curve. Put some glue on it like that. Spread the glue around. I'm not sure why we need reinforcements, because it's wood, but I think it's to do with when we put wallpaper inside. I think it might stick easy to cardboard. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. So we get this B5 and we slot it in there like that. As you can see. I'm trying to see if we put the other two in. Fix and pull it there. It's just showing me you have covered half of the frame with the wall panels. In issue 90 you will continue fixing the panels to the frames. Yes. Seeing if we're putting them both. Reinforce the join between the ground and the first floor panels from the back using the B3 fixing plate. Stick B3 in place with wood glue. It says plate, not plates. And then the next one is fixing plate B5. Now I'm wondering if this will go on this side when that's in place, and this one will go on this side when that's in place. So we'll see. But this is where I'm going to leave this video, because there's wallpaper and stuff to put in. And let's see. Take a generous amount, so it's attaching the wall. Yeah, that's the wallpaper. Take a generous amount of wood glue and spread it. Okay. Let's see. Because we are going to paint as well. We're going to paint these sides. We're going to paint these sides that blue colour as well. So I'm going to leave this here and show you where we've got to. So this is where we got to here. We got the fixing plates in. In the next video we're going to be doing some painting of the sides. We're going to be putting wallpaper in and the inner wall. Not really sure what these are. Let's see. Line up the edges, align with the cutouts. Not sure what the cutouts are for. Yeah. See, I'm not sure we will put wallpaper on there. Not sure, because the wallpaper will go on, but we haven't got the wood bits done. I don't know. I'll have a quick look in issue 90, which is the last. It's the last one. So in here, external wall, rear, porch, side. So in this one we're putting the other sides on. Yeah. I think that's wallpaper in there, I think. Yeah, see what they've done is it's this. This is the one. This is the one here. This is the one that we're going to be working on. Not this one. Yeah. So I've worked it out. So that completes. Well, it doesn't complete. That completes half of issue 89. And that's what we have, is half of this completed. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.